What's good, YouTube? This is the third video of things that men hate or red flags that guys are looking for, or 3 turnoffs for men that I'm doing today. This third and final red flag that I'm going to address today in this 3-video series. If you need to, check out the other 2 videos. I'm wearing the same thing. Just look at the thumbnails and you go to video uploads. For those of you who missed the notifications. This third red flag is something that I see from a lot of women. A lot of women don't know the difference between being strong or self-led and independent from being adversarial, inappropriate, and uncooperative. Too often, women say, when I get on the phone with them, when we start coaching, oh, I'm a very strong woman. I need a really strong man. But what they're really saying is, after we get into the crux of it, after we get into the details, is I'm uncooperative, I'm adversarial, and I'm inappropriate. Okay, there's a difference between a woman standing her ground and knowing what she's talking about and demanding respect from a woman just going to war and trying to combat a man as a man would. Too often a woman thinks her strength is in her defense, when sometimes a gentle offense or a more tactful approach to solving issues is her strength. Women tell me horror stories about how they done cussed a man out or checked him in public or yelled at some guy, and they say, well, I'm a strong woman. And I'm like, I'm not sure if that's strength. I think being out of control and out of sorts is always a sign of weakness, if not just mental, right? To try to check a man using might is always going to be a problem. And a lot of times men are observant. So the red flag that we witness is you doing that to other people. You rising up in aggression that we believe to be masculine against other people. You using might against other people instead of mental acuity. Instead of intellectual strategy, you're using muscle. Men use muscle and blunt force like cavemen. When women do it, it is a red flag. It is a very unattractive red flag. Sometimes, again, being adversarial, inappropriate, and uncooperative might feel like strength because people usually back up off of you. They usually give you space. They usually go away. It feels like you've won, but really, you've just shown yourself to be ill-equipped to handle whatever debate needs to happen. Too often, people focus on winning the moment, winning the battle. But they lose the war because they've mishandled themselves and they mishandled the situation. Men are always measuring a woman's temperament when he first meets them. As much as we might want to know about your sex, about your nurturing, about your cooking, about your support, we are measuring your temperament. When you are upset, are you uncooperative, adversarial, inappropriate? When you're upset, are you in control? Are you strategic? At what point can't we trust your conduct? What does it take to get you out of sorts? How much does it take to get you out of sorts? A lot of women have too short a fuse and too few tools to deal with things that they don't like. We're watching how you act when you're upset. We're watching how you deal with conflict, how you disagree. If not with us, with others. If I see a woman spazzing out or screaming on somebody, I'm pretty much wrapped up. I'm not going forward with that. When I was dating, I would watch for a woman's temperament. If she appeared to be out of control at any point, she probably was immediately disqualified from, being a candidate in my dating pool, simply because I like a woman who's tactful. I like a woman who's meek. I like a woman who uses intellectual strength and not brute force, not blunt force, not might to win and make her points. I'm the might. I'm the muscle. We don't both need to be screaming and yelling and fighting and cussing and causing havoc, raising hell. That's a masculine trait, and a lot of men are looking for it. It's a huge turnoff. If you are the type of woman who disagrees a lot, if you're very opinionated, that's completely okay, but make sure you do so with tact. Make sure you do so with strategy. A man doesn't mind losing the game of wits to a woman, but he will not allow a woman to bash him like a man would, to brute force him into submission. So a lot of women say things like, well, men just don't want a strong woman nowadays, when really we just want a woman who's tactful and gentle in her approach, who's meek in her strategy. And too often women confuse inappropriate behavior, like arguing in public or yelling or throwing insults or making threats, for being strong. Those things aren't strong. They're just toxic communication tactics. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at Hick24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.